What is gross income for Zakat calculation? Imagine you are tracking your earnings for the year to see if you owe Zakat. But what exactly counts as your total income before any deductions? That's where gross income comes into play. In Islamic finance, gross income is the total amount you earn from all sources before subtracting any expenses. This includes your salary, profits from your business, rental income, dividends, and any other earnings you receive. Think of it as the full amount before you pay for anything related to your work or investments. However, when it comes to Zakat, you don't pay it directly on this full gross amount. Instead, the focus is on your net income or savings. To find this, you subtract necessary and allowable expenses from your gross income. These expenses can include your living costs like food, rent, utilities, and transportation. If you run a business, you subtract costs like inventory, wages, and operational expenses. If you have debts that are due, those are also deducted. The idea is to determine how much wealth you truly have available after covering your essential needs and obligations. Once you subtract these expenses, the remaining amount is called your net income or zakatable wealth. Zakat is then calculated at 2.5% of this net amount. But remember, this only applies if your net wealth reaches or exceeds the unknown threshold. The unknown is the minimum amount of wealth you need to have before Zakat becomes obligatory. It is equivalent to the value of 87.48 grams of gold or 612.36 grams of silver. If your net income after expenses is below this level, then you are not required to pay Zakat on that wealth. Timing is also important. Zakat on income is usually paid after one lunar year has passed since your wealth reached the unknown. If you earn income continuously, some scholars suggest paying Zakat annually on the savings accumulated from that income. To do this properly, it's best to keep detailed records of your total income and expenses throughout the year. At the end of the lunar year, you subtract your expenses from your gross income to find your net amount. If this net amount exceeds the unknown, then you pay 2.5% of it as Zakat. In summary, gross income is the total earnings before expenses, but for Zakat calculation, the focus is on your net income or savings after deducting necessary expenses. This ensures Zakat is paid only on the surplus wealth that has been in your possession for a full lunar year and exceeds the unknown threshold. This approach helps in fulfilling the Islamic obligation of purifying wealth and supporting those in need.